What's up guys, it's me, Kadar, and in this video I'll be recounting my second playthrough of the Ironsworn Solo Roleplaying Game. When we last left off, Keelan was recovering from a very tough battle and was making his way onward to the deep wilds. So without further ado, let's jump right into the adventures of Keelan Kai. In my last playthrough of Ironsworn, I introduced you to Keelan Kai, a head-bashing brawler with his loyal companion hound, George. Previously, Keelan Kai pledged to take a dying elf back to his hometown, but at the start of the journey encountered two of his own villagers blocking his path. Those villagers believed that Keelan and the elf were traitors to the village, and the villagers intended to kill the two. After a long and arduous battle, the elf Keelan was escorting was killed, and Keelan finished off the two villagers. My character packed his bags, performed a funeral for the elf, and carried on, wanting to tell the elf's people of what had befallen one of their kind. Now, Keelan continues his adventures in the town of Wayfar and chooses to rest there for the night. The town is pretty skittish around Keelan, and some jerk chooses to attack George. Now, my character was pretty roughed up from the recent battle, so I chose not to enter the fray and fight the dude harassing my doggo. Also, this town doesn't like me already, and I don't want them to find an excuse to attack me. Plus, I don't want to end this series early by a dude beating me to death with George's corpse. So instead of using the enter the fray move, I instead choose to use the face danger move, and just grab my dog and run away. I succeeded with a strong hit, so finally something good happened, and something happened in my favor. Afterward, I undertake a journey in which I've barely made any progress in, and I reach a landmark called the Giant's Toe. My character makes camp, patches himself up, and moves on. Nothing much happened there. Keelan packs up his belongings and moves onward. However, luck was not on my side for that journey, and I scored a weak hit, being that I made progress on my journey, but I lost one supply. Supply is an abstract representation of my character's preparedness for adventure. It represents my exploration gear, camping equipment, and rations. Supply is clearly very important, and I was running out of it. I enter a dense forest with a large mountain range on the horizon. The altitude of this forest is pretty low, but the view was stunning. I had entered the lowland woods. Now this forest is pretty lush. It's perfect for finding food and for replenishing my supply. Luckily for me, there is a move in Ironsworn just for that. When I wish to resupply by hunting, foraging, or scavenging, I must roll and add my wits to the results. Now, Keelan has pretty low wits, so hunting was pretty tough, but luckily for me, I got a strong hit on my roll, and if I get a strong hit, I increase my supply by a whopping 2. My character just went from starving to bountiful with just one roll. That was amazing. Happy with my newfound supply, I choose to patch myself up and to heal the mental and physical scars from my past battles. Sadly, when I make camp, I roll a miss and must pay the price. The pay the price move is sadly a very common move in Ironsworn. Now this move is different from many of the other moves featured in the game. Instead of rolling 2 10-sided dice and 1 6-sided die, I must instead roll 2 10-sided dice. Based off of the result of the 10-sided dice, I must consult a table. My result from the table is roll twice more on this table. Both results occur. If they are the same results, make it worse. Both of my results were the same result. Crap. The result of me paying the price was that I was separated from my loyal companion George while trying to find a good camping ground, and I stumbled across the corpse of a wyvern. Wyverns are like dragons' younger, weaker cousin. They're similar to dragons, but only have 2 legs instead of 4. They are extremely dangerous, and I stumbled upon the corpse of one. Atop the wyvern's corpse was a dead body of what seemed to be its rider. This is a double uh-oh. And lo and behold, next to the wyvern was a fallen warrior with his body completely mutilated. 3 dead bodies. That was not a good situation whatsoever. You see, in the Ironlands, horrors and zombies are sadly everywhere. The dead don't stay dead for long there, and Keelan had entered into the territory of a fiercely territorial haunt. Haunts are undead that have been killed in a traumatic way. The body next to the wyvern was a haunt, and it rose and roared fiercely. Keelan sealed his hands for combat and gets ready to rumble. The fight was tough, and a new problem emerged in the middle. Midway through the battle, the body atop the wyvern also rose from the dead. Things weren't looking good. At least the new undead wasn't a haunt, but instead a bone walker. Bone walkers are your average run-of-the-mill zombie. After finishing off the bone walker while also dodging the haunt's deadly attacks, Keelan was pretty beat up. But Keelan Kai was a fierce warrior who knows every in and out of every situation. Keelan used his final tactic to turn the tide of the battle. He ran away. My character successfully made it back to camp, and he patched himself up and headed back to fight the haunt. Keelan wasn't done with the bony brawler yet. After a long and tough battle, my character came out on top. Keelan made camp and traveled to the nearest town. Keelan trekked up the mountain and came across a town called Highmount. The town was really hospitable, and they let me heal up. Keelan was feeling nice, so he decided to help out the town with one of their problems. So the town was raided by a clan of Varus, which are basically furries, werewolves. After a fairly easy battle, I spared the furries' lives and returned to the town. I made camp and chose to conclude my journey. My second playthrough of Ironsworn went much better. There was way less shuffling through papers now that I knew how the game worked. When I first looked at Ironsworn's move system, I initially thought the move system was overly restrictive and didn't allow for freeform gameplay. But in actuality, it allowed for fluid single-player role-playing. My playthroughs of this game were really fun, and y'all should try it out. And that was my second playthrough of the Ironsworn role-playing game. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe for more content, as well as comment if you want me to continue this series. If you're interested in getting your hands on a brand new trading card game, check out the Gladiator trading card game. A link to its shop page will be in the description down below. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.